Alright. The name is Dale, here to do the review of Masta Ace and Marco Polo new album together called A Brooklyn Story. This review is done on behalf of Audio Lego Magazine. Alright, I'm going to tell you this was a pleasant surprise. I was expecting this project to be good, but not nearly as good as it is. Masta Ace gives a master class and a clinic on how to put together a great hip-hop album. This album is able to touch on a variety of different subjects and do different things without being all over the place and without trying to please everybody. This is hip-hop at its finest. And I'm going to give a little history on Masta Ace. I believe he made his first appearance in 1988 on this Posse Crew cut called The Symphony, which is considered a classic. It was him, Craig G, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane. And I think The Symphony is one of the first, if not the first, posse cut, as they say, crew or clique song, meaning where you have three or more individuals who are solo artists who come together on one song. That's not a group. And if you were to tell me back then that Masta Ace would be the most consistent out of the other three MCs on that song, I would have thought you was crazy. But Masta Ace has had the better catalog, and to me has had a better career hip-hop wise, in my opinion, than those other three. I know some would say that's blasphemy because Cool G Rap and Big Daddy Kane are considered living legends. They're on some people's Mount Rushmore best ever. But Masta Ace has had better albums than them. He has a better catalog of music, better body of work than those two. I mean, Big Daddy Kane's first two albums are considered classics, but after that, not so much. And Cool G Rap has made classic songs, but he hasn't made a classic album, in my opinion. I don't recall anyone ever saying that one of his albums was a classic. I'm pretty sure someone out there who thinks that, but that's something I don't hear. He's made classic songs like Poison, It's a Demo, Hill Street Blues, Streets of New York, Talk Like Sex, but I don't think he's ever made a classic album. And Masta Ace past albums, his first album came out, I believe, in 1990 called Take a Look Around. It was okay. You know, he's known for that Me and the Biz single that came out off that joint. But his second album, Slaughterhouse, where it was Masta Ace Incorporated, to me that's a classic. I love that album. Still bump that album to this day. The joint got G-Bass Nigga and a few other joints that stand out, but the whole album is a classic to me. Then he has Sitting on Chrome that came after that, which was okay. It was just okay to me. Then he has Disposable Arts, which I like but I don't love, but Disposable Arts is considered a cult classic. People swear by that album. People have that as a classic in their eyes. I don't think it's a classic, but I can understand where people are coming from who think that, but people love that album. And then you have his album that came after that called A Long Hot Summer, which I really like. Then he did two other albums after that I really didn't care for. He did a joint with MF Doom, where MF Doom was doing all the production. And you would think that album would have been better than what it was. And then he had Fall in Season, which was I believe his last album before this one. I believe that came out in 2016, and it was just okay. And he's done a whole project with Ed O.G. called Arts and Entertainment, which was okay. And then he had this group called EMC, I believe Wordsworth and Strict were part of that group. And I believe they did like 3 projects, 2 whole albums and an EP together. So, and Masta Ace is known when he does his solo albums or his albums with a producer, so to speak. He's known for doing concept albums where the whole album from start to finish is telling a story. And the songs and the tracks coincide whatever story he's trying to tell. He's very good at that. He's very good for telling a story with a whole album. And that's what I really dig about him. And you got Marco Polo. His production credits range from doing stuff for Boot Camp Click, Helter Skelter, Talib Kweli, Pharoah Monch, Sean Price, Raw Digger, etc., etc. He did a whole album with Torre called Double Barrel. He did another whole album with Rusty Jukes called The Execution. And he's done 4 compilation albums. That's where he does the beat and he has these different rap artists come and rap over his production. He did about 4 of those albums. I really did his first compilation called Port Authority. That was really good. Had a lot of good artists on that joint. You know, his production style, his samples, loops. He's known for his drums. He has some nice drums. And Master Ace, I would say his rapping style is very straight to the point, but well thought out, blue collar rap. It's not fancy. He's not going to dazzle you with switching up his flows and how he rides a beat. But he has lyrics, he has bars. And he's very easy to understand, but not simple, if that makes any sense. And with this new project called Brooklyn Story, it's spelled different. Brooklyn is spelled different, should I say. It's spelled Breukelen, which is very different from how we traditionally spell Brooklyn, New York. And I believe that's from a European name, a city or a town. I believe the origins of Brooklyn comes from a European country. I'm not sure which one. And the concept of this Brooklyn Story album is basically Marco Polo's journey from Toronto, Canada to Brooklyn, New York. Marco Polo is originally from Canada and he migrated to Brooklyn, New York to get his start, to get his foot in the door and to get into the music business. So it's about his journey, about him coming over to New York and, you know, his family thinking he crazy for moving from Canada to New York, Brooklyn, New York, and him trying to meet people and give certain artists his beat CD, what have you. And the album, it has 19 tracks total, but 5 are skits. They're very short. I think every skit is under a minute. It's 14 actual songs, and there was only one song that I didn't like. I'm going to get into some of the standouts on the album. I'm going to dive real deep into each track. You have the first track called Kings, one long verse. He speaks on how we criticize the youngins who rap now and how they, with the mumble rap and the trap rap, things of that nature. But he said our parents used to criticize our generation for even listening to rap. When they felt that rap wasn't real music and they felt R&B, we should be listening to R&B. And I love the pianos, I love the drums. It has cutting and scratching at the end. Very good way to start off the album. We have another track called Brooklyn featuring Smith and Wesson. They're just on the hook. It's a love letter to Brooklyn. A feel-good song about Brooklyn, showing respect to other rap artists who are from Brooklyn. I dig the hook, love the piano loop again. Got another track called Get Shot, braggadocious raps, cuts and scratches on the hook again, scratching Jay-Z and scratching ODB, Old Dirty Bastard. You don't want to get shot. Got another track called Still Lover, featuring Pearl Gates, who is singing on the hook. It's a love letter to hip hop. It reminds me a lot of Common's song called I Used to Love Her. We got another track called Man Law featuring Styles P. Just bars with no hook, has scratching here and there. They just go in rhyming. You got another track called You and I. Now this is an actual love song. This is about a female. It's a nice joint. Could get played on the radio, but I know it won't. I actually sent this song to my cousin, and she's not into hip hop at all. And she said she loved the song. And she was like, where can I find a radio version? Because it has a little profanity on there. And I was like, it probably is not one, because he doesn't get any radio play. So she was shocked by that. So that just goes to tell you how good the song is when you have an average music listener who really digs the joint. Just never heard of the guy before. And you got another track called Sunken Place featuring Paige Bundy, I believe, who's singing on the hook. Deep thought about the black struggle and how to get out the hole and get out the situation that we're in. Really dig this joint. And you got another track called Corporal Punishment featuring Elzai. Bars, lyrics, no hook. It starts off, with the scratching. Really dig this joint. And then you got Count 'Em Up featuring Lil Fame. Count 'Em Up, son. Lil Fame from MOP. It's about brothers getting caught up in the system. Cops mistreating niggas in the hood. Things of that nature. And you got another track called American Me, speaking on social ills of society, chasing the American dream and falling short type of thing, but still hopeful. You got another track called Wannabe, featuring Marlon Craft, I believe, and it's about folks who want to be in the in crowd, following trends. Master Ace is trying to school a younger artist on the pitfalls of the industry, and not to be trying to ride other people's waves and just do their own thing. And I think you got Marlon, I think his name is Marlon Craft. He's playing like the younger artist who doesn't want to listen to what Master Ace is giving them, the advice Master Ace is giving them. Then you got another track called 3 featuring EMCs that consists of Master Ace, Strick, and Wordsworth. Just rhyming, cussing, scratching, braggadocious shit. Then you got another track in the final track called Fight Song featuring Pharoah Monch, who plays the part of the disease MS. And he's like slowly killing Master Ace. But Master Ace is fighting back. And Pharoah Monch, he kills it lyrically. And it's basically about Master Ace beating this disease. Really strong song. One of the real standouts on this album. Great way to end the album. And my folks, Tony, long time ago, said that white boys are making better beats than the black dudes. And at the time in my head, I was like, I don't know about that. But it's starting to be some truth to it. Because some of my favorite producers now are white. Marco Polo's white. He's one of my favorites. The Alchemist is white, one of my favorites. Static Selector, white, one of my favorites. Scram Jones, white, one of my favorites. Jake One, white, one of my favorites. They like my top 5. They like in my top 10 right now as far as producers go. So it was some truth to what he was saying. Because the production on this joint is hard. It's like some boom bap, but it still feels new. It still feels fresh. I really like the drums, and I give this album an 8. I know I went long with this review, but it was worth it because this album is very strong. One of the best albums of the year. And I highly recommend you go get it. Seek it out online. Download it, stream it. Do however you get it. And that's it, I'm done.